Advertising is a high-risk business. When I say high-risk, what I mean is when you take on a client, there are very little guarantees that you can have from the client. Okay, most clients, when they launch new products, they are full of enthusiasm, energy, monies, etc. But if the product or the enterprise bombs, which in any case you would know, advertising agencies are a part of this losing game. And any other supplier, while supplying the raw material or something to that client, would probably take some advance, and there would be a credit period, and you could probably be able to recover your monies, or you would stop supplying that to the client, to that manufacturer. For an advertising agency, the situation is bad because of the very unethical and dirty competition in this industry. Agencies are unable to dictate their terms. When I say dictate, I don't mean that you need to be arrogant or something. What I mean is basic business terms, that you need to give me some advance, you need to give me some assurity, something, and then I will release your advertisement. This is the credit period, you have to pay me within this, and otherwise this will not happen. So agencies kind of are happy just getting an account most of the times. So we got an account, we are happy, we start releasing ads, and advertising is an expensive business. Before you realize, you spend something like 50-30 lakhs for a client, and if the client starts defaulting, then there is very little you can do. There is no material you can bring back. Once gone through the press, the ad from this side to the other side, your money is spent. So the agencies have to pay the media, whether the client pays you or not. That's why the agencies are recognized by media, because they have the payment guarantee for the newspapers. And if the client doesn't pay you, so imagine you're making just about 15%, 85% in any case has to be given to the media. And if you lose the entire 100%, it's a huge blow. So we've had our share of large clients defaulting, going through rough patches. Somehow we survived. Of all the agencies, I'll give you a small statistics you will understand. When I started Shells, 87, 88, during that period till about 90s, early 90s, there were about 150, 120 odd advertising agencies in Nagpur, big and small all included. Today, I don't think the figure goes above 20-22 agencies. We have created an Advertising Agencies Association of Nagpur, of which I am the president, and we have on board about 28 to 23 agencies, out of which also about 10 or 12 are really active. Alright. So, and during this time, more agencies also launched themselves. But what happened to all of these 120 plus so many which were launched in the interim period? Most of them died out. Why? Because of these reasons. Because the default rate is so high. This business is very high risk, and people who come into this industry, start a new agency, it's a huge tip for them who want to. You feel there is no investment. All you need is probably one machine, one artist. If you're good at Photoshop and CorelDRAW, you feel you're good enough for it, and you can write, etc. So you realize that the cash flow requirements are very heavy, because the clients will never pay on time, and you need to constantly pay the media on time. You have a specific credit limit which the clients don't honor, and your monies keep getting sucked into the system, and before you realize, you are left with no cash flows, positive cash flows. And then when you start, your check starts bouncing with the media. They start holding you responsible, holding your advertising, or asking for advance payments. You are unable to pay last month's payments, so how are you going to pay advance payments for new ads? So it's a vicious circle, and you fall into this trap, and soon you realize that you can't release ads. So the client wants to release an ad, but media won't take your ad, and therefore there is no option but to, and media is also hounding you for payments. There is no option left but to close shop and run away. And that's happened to so many advertising agencies I have known, so many of them, that I can't tell you. So getting out of this unscathed was again because of two reasons. One, we did not give discounts, so there were some reserves to take care. Two, we always otherwise were very prompt in our payments. So every first of the month, our checks are always with the media. So they know that if once we get delayed, we are not the ones who are going to be unethical, not pay, etc. And we would pay through. Number one was that. Then because of, as I said, no discounts, we could create some cash reserves out of which we paid. And three was being strict as far as possible to recover monies. So initially we lost a lot of money, yes, but of late that proportions have drastically come down because we are very strict on taking a client. And now that we have a brand and we can, in a way, talk to the client on our own terms in a way, and we're going to look, without this kind of an advance, we can't start. So 4 years ago, there was a workshop, a 2-day workshop in Mumbai on digital media. So I said, look, I need to learn this. And I've always insisted, or for myself, I knew that the only way you can survive is to constantly learn. You're never done. So I enrolled for this workshop in Mumbai, and I went and stayed there for 2.5 days, learned the basics there, and I came back and started doing some digital work myself. That was very basic work at that point in time. And soon I realized that at that point Nagpur was not really ready, but at least I ensured that I was ahead of the curve and started doing some work for my clients based on what I knew on Facebook, etc. Then as we started sensitizing our clients towards this domain, they started understanding the importance. Couple of them signed on. So that was when we developed or started an independent department in Shell's advertising for Shell's Digital. Okay, and it started with the recruitment of just one person who was with a digital background, who had done his BE, IT, etc. And 3 years ago now we started this. Today we have a strength of about 5 or 6 people in the digital area. I'm not saying print is out completely. For image building and other things, there are certain people who are not there at all on digital. So you will have to still use print, but you would be foolish if you're not using some of your budget for digital. Because the ROI is, number one, very measurable, and 2, very flexible. You can control it on a daily basis, on an hourly basis in a way. Okay, so if you have something happening in the evening between 3 hours, you can put on your promotion or communication only during those 3 hours and then close it again. So these kind of features from digital make digital a very powerful tool for tomorrow. I'm not saying print will completely die out. I'm not going to say that. But requirement, every medium would be required. But digital is growing like crazy.